I'm convinced that as a man, as a father, the most important thing that you can do for your self-development journey is to take what I like to call radical accountability, radical responsibility. I just said that like I coined that term. I didn't coin it. I'm sure people use it. But the point is, own your shit, bro. Sorry, I came off hot. I know. But this is really important. When I was in the car a few days ago driving to rowing practice, 5 a.m. in the morning, I started to think about all the things that I want to be different in my life. First of all, don't let anybody that comes on a YouTube channel and tells you about their ups and downs, but make it seem like their life is just perfectly fine every single day of the week. That's ridiculous. I'm telling you this right now. As a collective of people, we suffer existentially and we want more. We are supposed to learn how to be okay with what we have, but don't let anybody come on YouTube and tell you that they don't go through this. They're lying to you. Okay, so like I said, from the outside looking in, let's be honest, actually, let me stop. My life isn't terrible, right? I get to come on this camera and speak to people and help people. I have two beautiful and loving children, right? I have a mindful fatherhood coaching business that is, I think growing by the day. I work at a prestigious university, working with great faculty members and great colleagues. It's all good, sure. But because I'm human, right? And I'm not fully liberated, I have desires and sometimes I struggle with certain areas of my life. And I know you do as well. Okay, so back to radical accountability, radical responsibility. There are many things about what I just told you about. I told you about my family. I told you about my work, right? Within those things, while I'm grateful for them, within those things, there are many things that I want to be different. I want to show up better, right? And so when I was driving to rowing practice, this is going to sound crazy, but I started talking to myself out loud, like a motivational podcast or something. And the point of this talk was like, yo, take a look at where you are, take a look at where you want to be. When are you going to stop making excuses and realize that every single choice you've made, every single choice that you've chosen not to make, right? Every single action that you've chosen not to take, every single action that you took is the reason why you're right here, right now. When are you going to really look in the mirror and realize that? And man, it was a rough little talk out loud to myself for the 15-minute drive to practice, but it was very much liberating. It was very much needed. I'm gonna give you an example. Since I've had that talk to myself, basically out loud, ripping myself to shreds, right? Like, yo, you are the reason for this. You are the reason for this. What is it? You're single, you're the reason for this. What is it? Your business isn't growing as much as you think it should. You're the reason for this, right? What is it? You're not as consistent as you would like to be with your whole food, plant-based diet. You're the reason. Own that, because the funny thing is, if you could own that you're the reason for the things that you are perceiving to be downfalls or, bad or negative, whatever the case may be, if you could sincerely own that, how much easier would it be to be the reason that you're not those things, right? If I could say to myself, wait, another thing is, don't just tell yourself, oh, I'm the reason for this. I'm the reason, and just stop there. Anybody with some, forward thinking common sense in today's world can easily grasp the idea that whatever situation that they're in, they're to blame for it, right? Well, no, I'm lying. Not everybody can do that, actually. But a good amount of people can do that, right? It doesn't stop there. You have to actually feel it on the inside. And that's what was happening for me on that ride to practice. I was feeling it on the inside of my gut, like, yo, oh my God, this is really my fault, right? And now that I feel that gives me so much more power to change it, because if I caused it, I can change it, right? Sometimes we have this victim mentality and we feel like if other people cause our suffering, we can't change it because they did it. And so once I not only acknowledged it, but actually felt it inside, like, wait, this is actually my fault. I'm the reason. The choices I made are the reason why these things are this way. I can change it 10 times easier. And so I say all that to say I was going to go with the fact that the example I was going to give was in my business. I'm supposed to show up here every week and record a YouTube video that then goes into a podcast that then goes into me writing a newsletter, right? And then that goes into me giving you some short form content from the long form. Cool. Mind you, it's very easy for me to not show up on here consistently and blame it on working a full-time job and blame it on my parenting responsibilities. It's very easy for me to do that. Okay. And the reality is I was showing up, but I wasn't showing up every single day. I wasn't showing up every single week. I was showing up enough to be on the algorithm, to be in the Google searches, but I wasn't giving the effort that I know not only would benefit my business, but would also benefit all the dads and the parents and the moms too that can benefit from this type of content. I wasn't showing up as much as I could. I promise you, since I had this conversation in the car out loud with myself, I have recorded 4 videos in batch already. I have handwritten newsletters already to go type them. Perfect example. This is my non-parenting weekend. It's Sunday. I typically would want to relax on Sunday, which I should, right? Going forward, Sundays are going to be my chill day. But I got up at 6 or 7 a.m. in the morning, and I'm doing this right now, Sunday morning. And I've already allocated 4 hours to just do my content, and that way by 12 p.m, 11 a.m, 12 noon, I have a Sunday to do absolutely whatever I want to do to get ready for the week and just relax. The old me prior to this talk, there's no way I'm doing that. I'm probably waking up very early Monday before I gotta log on to work and do this. And that's now I'm creating from anxiety. I'm creating rushed. I'm not able to chill out, right? And so I'm going to end this talk here, but that's the main point of this video, is to get you to understand that no matter what you are perceiving as negative in your life, as a disappointment in your life, you are the reason why you're there. Okay? You are the reason. Your actions, your choice of taking action and what you chose to take action on, your choice of not taking action and what you chose not to take action on is the reason you are here. It's going to be so hard for a lot of people to look themselves in the mirror and not victim themselves and not blame it on her, blame it on him, blame it on the situation, blame it on the circumstance. I'm recording this video from the bedroom of my mom's house. I moved back home a few years ago to launch this business. And guess what I did? I launched the business. I saved a ton of money to launch the business. I launched my journal, my 365 Dad Journal. I took that from an idea to production. I paid thousands of dollars to get it produced. I did that. My plan was to leave. Soon as after I launched my business, my plan was to leave, get clients, get out of here, move back closer to my son instead of having to drive an hour, one way, then an hour the other way, 3-4 days a week to see my son. That was my plan. Get out of here. I'm still here. Whose fault is that? It's my fault, right? It's my fault. I just told you I work at this prestigious university. What am I doing with that money? Exactly. Right now, obviously, big congrats to me. I'm moving out in 2 months. But the point is, this move was supposed to happen a year ago. Right. But it didn't. Why didn't it happen a year ago? Me, the actions that I chose to do. And I'm not saying these were like terrible decisions, right? I chose to invest more money into my business. I chose to pursue dating, right? It's not bad. It's you want connection. You want your business to grow. These are not bad things, right? But the reality is, if I was saving a little bit more, this move would have happened quicker, right? And so now when the people who say, I really like you, but you live at home. It doesn't matter to them that I have a plan. And I've always had a plan. And I'm not just like on the couch doing nothing. I intentionally did this. But the point is, they have standards and I have to respect it. But why did that happen to me? The choices that I've made. And so the quicker I realize that, the quicker I'm like, what am I doing? I'm out of here. Bye. Right? And I just want to give you some personal examples in my life so you can relate it to yours, because I know there's a lot, especially men. It's hard to be vulnerable as men and as dads. And so I just attempted to be vulnerable and give you, a little glimpse into things that I struggle with. And the difference between, me and probably some of you watching this is I've put in a lot of work to be self-aware enough to document this, not just on camera. I sit on my cushion and I talk about this to myself. I inquire, and that brings me further along. But anybody can do this, right? Anybody can do this. I'm walking next to you, not talking to you from the mountain, like I always say. Yeah, so I hope this video was helpful to you as a father, as a man, and even for the moms out there that come to my channel. I hope this video was helpful to anybody. And just remember, the quickest way to change your situation and to change your actions is to have radical accountability. Take radical responsibility for the things that you don't like in your life. It's your fault. Now what you gonna do about it? All right, I'll see y'all next week.